Greetings. A'udhu billahi. Stock options trading journey. And today, June the 20th, Thursday, so happy to be back in action. So happy to be back trading again. Yesterday we didn't trade, but we are back at the helm today. Shout out Aaron. Shout out Dr. J. Thank you for being in the building. Let's do what we do best. Make today our best trading day ever. So excited, rededicated, recommitted. Oh man, Aaron, I got some stuff, bro, that I've been working on. Can't wait to show you and share that with you. Let's talk about what's happening right now. We've had a gap up. Yes, we've have. Closed yesterday at the 548.5. Gapped up all the way to the 550 this morning. Let me show that to you real quick. Add the pre-market on here real quick. Blow it up. See what's going down. Yes, sir. And here we go. Yesterday's action. A lot of that chop, sideways chop. We climbed up a little bit towards the close. To close in that upper region of that 548, and then after that, that post market going into pre-market kept on climbing, touched all the way to 551, and then from there we have been declining, but you can already see where big money has chosen to enter the market at. You can also see that at the 8 o'clock candle, after 8 o'clock, rather than 8:30 candle, we did have a huge move down, back down to the downside, presenting a potential magnet at this 548.4 area, because we're at 549.5. Very interesting how this morning is going to play out. Would love to hear anyone's thoughts, suggestions, trading plans, what you might have. Please feel free to share. Dan is in the building. Dan, the man, is in the building. Recommitted, refocused, Dan. Yes, sir. Can't wait to share some of the things I have been working on, some of the lists that I have made, things that I want to work on as a trader. And we will get into that. But these are going to be the key things that are going to help me, help us, take us to where individually we all want to be trading. Very excited. Ready to make today our best trading day ever. Let's go. Let's go. We're going to go ahead and keep pre-market up right now, so we can continue to see what happens at pre-market. What happens at market open. So we're going to keep pre-market up right now, just so we can see what happened at market open. But we can clearly see that from yesterday's close, there was a significant gap up. And it does appear that we are attempting to close that said gap. Potentially doing two things. Giving us an opportunity for a call in this area from bouncing off the 549 area with a great amount of liquidity that can be grabbed, or looking for a break and retest of this area for a further move down, potentially to the 548.4. First 5 minutes, the market is choosing violence. The first 5 minutes, the market is choosing violence. So far, it's a 40-cent move on the option chain. If you had a 550 put. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Interesting, interesting, interesting. A lot of time is still left even on this candle. Potential 45-cent move could have been made off of that trade. But again, I'm looking at that call right here. Man. I'm not going to get in it, but I still want to identify the potential. Okay. Really, what we want to do, we're looking at the clock. It says 9:33. We want to wait until the end of this first 5-minute candle and then see potentially what it does from here. But we absolutely knew that there was going to be some form of support here at this area, which is why we have this line drawn. However, it's also why we don't trade either first thing in the morning, as the market is very volatile. But that does not mean that there is not money to be made. It just means I choose not to participate at this time and wait for the market to further develop, so then that way I may get a clearer picture. I had a feeling. Nobody care about feelings. Let's wait and see what happens in the next 30 seconds. This is that area that I was mentioning, that I would have taken that call if it was to me to trade early. Just not a good habit to form. So I don't allow the market time to form. There will always be pitches that you can hit potentially. But as a batter, you want the ideal pitch that you know you can really connect with. You don't want to just prove that you have the ability to hit anything that the pitcher throws you. No. You want to prove that when you do hit something, you're going to put some distance on it if you don't knock it out the park. And so that's what I'm getting to understand in my development as a trader. It's not meant for me to trade everything that's tradable. It's not meant for me to prove that I'm right. I don't make any money proving that I'm right. I make money choosing to enter the trade at the right time based on a certain set of criteria. And then out of a lot of 20 trades, knowing that the winning percentage of this trade makes it worth it to take it each and every time. Truly trying to develop myself into being a quality trader. Not a quantity trader. So I did some reevaluating of myself, some things that I wanted to work on. Okay, let's start sharing some of those things with you guys. Let me get a little cuppa just to wet my beak, and we'll get going.
Carter on the beat.
Did anyone decide to take this trade? Everyone trades based upon their own understanding, based upon their own level. Some people might trade out the open. That's what makes the team beautiful, is that we all have different trading styles and different ways of looking at things. But I pointed this out within the first 5 minutes that this was a potential call. Showed the arrow, took it off, put the arrow back on after this candle closed. As Dan always says, let the candle close. But just based on my rules and principles, I did not take this trade, and that's what led into the minor spill, allowing some trades to go by because of the rules that I have set for myself. But nonetheless, everyone's rules may be different. And that's the beautiful thing about us as a team. It is everyone being different that adds to it. Okay. How do I get out of here? Give me 1 second, guys. I got this effect on my...
Check. This is nuts.
Oh my goodness.
How do I get this off?
All right, there we go. Sorry about that. I was wondering where these effects of my voice was coming from. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Even I knew this, though. Frustrating. But it's more important for me to stick to my rules. Now, some of the things that I want to share that I myself will be working on and bringing that to the forefront with the team. Hence, we've entitled it Things I Want to Work On as a Trader. Number one, update my playbook regularly and continually. Just because your playbook is created doesn't mean it doesn't need to be updated. It needs to be updated on a regular as the market changes, as the market sentiment changes, as different variety of that play may change. So you want to be in a position where you're constantly updating my playbook regularly and continually. As we see here on the charts right now, that call would have played out. Let's see what that would have been. It would have been 549 call. Let's clear this out because I don't like that. Grateful that the market is moving, and as long as the market is moving, there will always be an opportunity. We'll definitely have to make a note of this and screenshot this, because this was a nice potential trade. The only reason I didn't take it is because of my rules. Nonetheless, still wanted to call the trade out to you guys. Even bigger trade potentially on the horizon, because if I look at the algos that are coming out from pre-market, it's pretty much where the trade is going to stop right about here, according to the algos. Not according to me. But having the ability to read and see the algos and identify them is definitely going to pay off. It just is what it is. The next thing I want to do is always take a screenshot of your trade that you took, okay? And then you want to file it accordingly as far as what kind of setup it was, so it can be reviewed and analyzed at the end of the day. This will help you, okay, when it comes to your playbook and identifying what are A plus trades, setups, and what are not. But having that screenshot of your trade, okay, filing so it can be reviewed and analyzed. And I want to get to the point where even here we're doing something after the trades, where we're sharing our trades, the trades that we took for the day. Okay. Okay. Don't know what's going to happen in this area, but this is still an area of interest, an area of a potential trade. We've been able to identify temporarily a controlled selling algo. Now, at the top of that controlled selling algo, we're having a battle between the bulls and the bears. No one is expressing dominance as of yet. It's a lot of liquidity that the bears could use to pull these bulls back down into this controlled selling algo and through it, as this is some nice liquidity, especially if these bulls have to cover. Which is why we take our time and allow the chart to develop. Allow the algos to reveal themselves. There's no such thing as a missed trade. And the more time that we give the charts to develop, the easier it becomes to pick the market apart. So knowing and understanding, if we do get a continuation out of this controlled selling, there is a lot of liquidity to take us right back up to retest that 551 high. Now, let's identify who specifically these bulls are up against. Go ahead and identify them specifically and put the highlight on them. Ladies and gentlemen, they are the 830 Bears. The 830 Bears are the one who have drawn a line in the sand. The 830 Bears are the one who represents the resistance in the sky. The 830 Bears also represent liquidity that could take the market back up to that 551 area. Giving the market more time to reveal itself. I'll get a chance to see what happens up here in this area where I know the bears are going to step back in, not because I say so, but because they are showing us that. And sometimes this could be a false liquidity grab to grab those late bulls who wanted to be in this, those late bulls who missed, who thought this would keep running up. This is a great opportunity to grab and squeeze them. Potentially. Or will enough bulls come in right now with some new money and contend with these 830 Bears and start getting them to cover? Think about it. If you're an 830 Bear, where are you wrong at? Where would you stop out at? That's where we want to join you. Because if you're an 830 bear, your covering is buying. Buying is taking the market higher. So where on this chart would they be wrong? And that's where you'll find me. That's where you'll find us. Looking for a potential opportunity. Again, being patient. You can't force your will on the market. Don't come with a bias. Don't come as a bull. Don't come as a bear. Come as a sniper. Come as someone ready to grab recognized information. Identify key areas that can be used later on during the day to understand what is happening right now. The bulls found resistance at the top of the algo. They found support from these 830 bears. And they're trying to get the late bulls to cover. The bulls that missed this run up. If you get those late bulls to cover, that will break us and bring us down back into the algo. That's not saying that it's going to happen, but that's explaining, if it does happen, why and what is taking place. And that is what is most important. The education. The ability to look at the chart and understand what it's telling you. To be able to look at the chart and identify the areas of potential interest where trades may take place. And then all you can do is just prepare yourself. You don't know what's going to happen in that area, but you know what area to be looking at. 9:53, time for me to take a cuppa, because I love to wait until 10 o'clock before I really get down and get involved. But I am here, present and alert. Let's take a look at the overall market before I step away to get a cuppa. Down in the bottom right, we have the weekly chart. And for yet another week, the bulls are in control. So don't let this bearish action fool you this morning. Oh no. The bulls are thoroughly in control, even transferring over to today. Upper right is the daily chart. Bottom right, weekly chart. As this is Thursday, the bulls are considerably in control of the week. Today represents yet another consecutive day that the bulls are not just in control, but have also gapped up. We've gapped up from the most recent close. Like it who like it, don't like it who don't like it, but yet and still the fact remains, we've gapped up and we're green for today, right now, currently. Also, the 30-minute chart, we are green right now, currently, showing very, very strong bullish action. The breakdown here in the 2-minute chart, minute by minute by minute, but even coming to the 30-minute chart, you can clearly see that the move by the bears was rejected. The lower prices that the bears were able to successfully get the SPY to were rejected by the bulls, meaning the bulls absorbed and bought up everything. In fact, they bought up so much that this began as a red candle and is now currently a green candle on the 30-minute. Let us be patient and see a clear setup that lines up on multiple time frames, not just the 5-minute. Let's use that 5 minute as our scope. Let's use that 5 minute as our entry point. But let us make sense in the trade because it is lining itself up on multiple time frames. So even though we're at the top of this, even though there is a logical put right here, I'm not going to take it because we're green on a weekly, green on a daily, green on a 30-minute. So why would I trade against all of that? That would make me stupid. And I'm not going to do it. It doesn't mean that some days you won't get away with it. But overall, you want your trade to line up on multiple time frames. You can't always go against the grain unless you're scalping. If you're scalping, okay. But then if you scalp, take a short above VWAP, you have to close above VWAP as well and ask yourself, is that risk to reward worth it? For me, I much would rather wait, see if we can close this 30-minute candle red, take all of these bulls with them to a point that they start covering. Now, let's talk about that. If I were a new bull in this, where is my point of pain? Where is my point of less profit? Where's my point of stopping out? Well, to me, it's going to be at the bottom here. Breaking out of this controlled selling algo. Breaking out of it with violence. Until then, I shall remain patient. Still acknowledging who has, for the moment, the back of this move the Bears are making right now, and it's the 830 Bears. So hey, I want to show you what this is looking like also before I go grab this cup of what it's looking like on the handy dandy. This is what she is looking like on the handy dandy line chart. She is, you can see the controlled selling as we started putting in lower lows. Before I get involved, I want to see, will we put in a new lower low? If we do, that will be outside of the controlled selling algo as I showed you here on this chart. Until then, it can be a trap by the bulls to grab some more liquidity to put a mega squeeze on the Bears. You just don't know, but time will tell. You just don't know, but time will tell. We've been able to identify enough to know. For now, stand aside. In my opinion, I do not give professional advice. I'm just a teammate. In fact, as I step away to go get a cuppa, now is a great time for you to put your thoughts in the chat, your trade ideas in the chat. Share with the team. What are you looking at? What are you thinking? What is on your mind that we could all benefit from, potentially? There is no right or wrong because knows what the market is going to do. All we can do is prepare. and say, if the market does this, then I'm potentially may do that. If the market does that, then I may potentially do this. So right now the chat is open. Everyone's thought will be read and is valued. I am setting alarms at areas of interest where potential trades may take place. Thank you, teammate Dan. Teammate Dan is sharing with the team. He's saying was liking the retest of the open and 5-minute candle for possible call. I can dig it. Coming back to the retest of where it all began. Back to the retest of the open of that 5-minute candle for a possible call. Thank you, Dan. I can definitely see that stayed above VWAP. I like it for two reasons. Number one, we have stayed above VWAP. Okay, sorry for that little glitch that we just had. Again, I like it because we have stayed above VWAP. Okay, I would also like it more if we could get a close in that area. Okay, meaning specifically, we have now fallen back into the range of this controlled selling with 1 minute left on the candle. So with that 1 minute left on the candle, I would like to see, I'm sure Dan is saying, let us get a nice little close outside of the range. Okay, that's number one. Let's get a close outside of the range. And then if we're able to get a close outside of the range, that would be our confirmation, but that is not our entry point. Okay, our entry point would be if the next 5-minute candle also was green and headed in the same direction, indicating continuation. That would be the money candle. So we also, at the same time, establishing a new 5-minute high over the most recent 5-minute red candle. Okay, with that imminently causing the 950 and the 955 bears to cover, is almost like a domino effect. It takes less and less profit away from the 830 bears and potentially can spark them into covering as well. But that would be that move. That is that retest of the opening 5-minute candle, what the price is doing. This is the area that we opened in. We have now come back to that area and retested it, and it is at that area that Dan is talking about why he likes it for a call, because you see support here. You do see support here at this area. These bottom tails are indicating, okay, that there is support here, that bulls are buying up these lower prices. Okay, let me stretch it out, make it just a little bigger. Sorry for that, guys. So much screen while we're working with so little space. Okay, please excuse me. Somebody get on me. Okay, there we go. Again, this is the area now since we're working with much bigger space. Am I on? Okay, because I had a little disconnection problem. All right, this is the area now since we're working with much bigger space. And I was identifying that even at this area that Dan was talking about, we can see that the bulls are here and that they're here showing support by buying up these lower prices. So Dan was saying for a potential call, he was looking for a retest of the opening 5-minute candle, okay? And then us potentially coming off from that. What I added to that was that if we were to get that, we would like to see a close outside of the controlled selling algo, and then that close outside it, like we had here, would be confirmation. But what we want to see, what we didn't get here, was continuation. So it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen, just not going to happen yet. But more importantly, we're identifying what we need to see and explaining why the price would trend higher. Because in order for the price to trend higher, it only is going to be two reasons. Someone is buying or someone is covering. And if they're covering, they're buying. Now, on the flip side, interested in a put if we're able to get below the 548.9 area. As all of these early morning faithful bulls will now be in a position to cover. Specifically, let's talk about these 940 bulls. If I was a 940 bull, and you know bulls love to buy everything, where would I cover at? Where would I hit the "oh save me" handle? Now you can already see here at this line at the bottom, you already see the bulls showing their support. No diggity, no doubt. The question is, with 30 seconds left, can the bears get the market to close below this area and then have a continuation candle through the market opening demand area? Let us see. Knowing that the candle that these bulls cover in will be a very beneficial candle. 549. 549 put is what I'm using potentially. Maybe I should go a little higher. I don't know. Oh, good save. Good save. Good save. Good save. Get ready. Okay. I mean it this time. Now let's get it. Okay. I am in the trade now. I'll show you where I'm in it at. And I will change this to red because I am in a put. Alrighty. a lot of time left on this candle. We called out the area. We were patient. We're allowing the trade to do what we wanted to do, and that's take us to the bank. It's a great opportunity. Great profits are being made. Let's take a little bit right here. Let's take a little bit of profits right there. Right at my predicted end of my candle. Just want to put some profits in my pocket as they present themselves. And we will move to a little bit more profits right now as well. Taking more profits. We said that this would be a very easy trade once we found out where they would be covering at. We've identified that area and we are now getting to the monies. Okay? We identified that area and we are now getting to the monies. Right to that 548.4, which we know is a known area of support. A known area of support. Trade based upon your level of understanding. Putting a little more money in my pocket. Okay? We know this 548.4 area in the past. We know what it does, what it has done. It acts like a magnet. You can still see here there is a lot of support coming off of that area. So that touch and go should not have surprised you. That touch and go was an opportunity for you to take profits. That is why these lines are here. I do not give out signals, but I do draw lines. I do set alarms. And I do identify the area of where the trade could possibly take place and where I have an interest in the trade as well. And I'm going to hold on to my runner. I repeat, I'm going to hold on to my runner for a further potential move down. Now, keeping in mind we are at the bottom of this controlled selling algo, so I can't be surprised. Matter of fact, let's take it off. I'm cool with that. Can't be surprised if we start bouncing here, but I'm cool with that money that was made. Okay? Grateful for that money that was made. Grateful for those of you that participated in that trade. That trade is now done. Let us set up and think about the next potential trade. Thank you for those who participated in that trade, and I strongly advise you, do not chase that trade. Don't chase it. We are at support. We are at a daily level of support, which is why I advised you not to chase that trade. It's not to say that the market won't go down any further, but before it does, we need some more liquidity. As we explained, when these 940 bulls got in trouble, when they got in trouble, their cover would make some nice monties, and it did. We saw it coming, picked it apart very easy. That was an easy money trade. If you're not happy with the amount of money that you made, simply means you just need to trade bigger. But that was a very lovely, easy trade that at its height peaked at 129, 128. Not bad at all for a quick opening trade. Again, respect to the algos, the fact that we have identified them and they are doing what they do. Let me show you a little bit clearer here. On the handy dandy, let's go to the handy dandy real quick, pulling it in. Here on the handy dandy, you can see that move that we participated in. It only made sense. There was so much liquidity right here to be grabbed. Once they started covering, it was like a perfect elevator ride down. Back to where? An area of support. And then it's at this area of support. Now, even though you don't see it on the line chart, it's because you won't see the line until the end of the 5 minutes. But price did touch that 548.4 and bounce from that in an attempt to come back within the controlled selling algo. But it looks like with less than 40 seconds left, we're trying to break through the next support level. Could this potentially happen? Yes. Yes, it could. Could this potentially set up another trade for today? Yes. Yes, it could. But in my opinion, and I'm not a financial advisor, okay, I'd much rather wait. If it's good now, it's going to be good later. Because as we look at the daily chart, I want to get into the pressure of yesterday's bulls. Where are they going to start feeling it at? Okay? Yesterday's bulls. Where are they going to feel it at? This also here officially closed the gap from the last closing day. You can see that also here on the daily chart, which is why, again, it is such a benefit to look at the market for multiple time frames to help you understand what's going on and key sensible areas to take profit. Also key and very sensible to understand why the market has not gone down any further once reaching this area. You have all of Tuesday's, what's today, Thursday? All of Tuesday's bulls. And again, the market is still bullish for the week. This could all be used as liquidity, potentially and possibly. trade that we took, it was there. We took it. It's done. It's over. It's a wrap. Clear your mind. It is time to set up and look for the next trading opportunity. The next area, someone will be in trouble. Now, the question again is where will the bears be in trouble? Where? That's the area that's going to interest me. That's the area I want to set an alarm at. What area will the bears want to cover? Can anybody tell me, share with me what you think? If you were a bear, where would you want to cover at? You dig? Where would you want to cover? Looking at the 549 calls. Okay. Yeah. First 5-minute candle. How does anybody feel about that? How does anybody feel about the first 5-minute candle? Let me see somebody comment in the chat. How do you feel about a call? Huh? How you feel about it? Right here, the known area of support. Huh? Yeah. You see it on the 30-minute chart. You see it on the 15-minute chart. You see it here on the 2-minute chart. You see it on the daily chart. She's clowning on the handy dandy. Let's see. Matthew Williams, thank you, buddy. My new morning watch. Thanks for the explanations. I got in on that put and netted a small profit. I'm still testing the waters, trading Robinhood with a few grand. Awesome, and thank you, teammate Matthew. All right. What will potentially happen at this area? Keep in mind, it is also an area of support. Now, could that have been a trick by the bears to excite early bulls, to squeeze them, to take markets down lower? We'll just have to wait and see. But I thought we were going to get a close of a new 5-minute, and we didn't. We did not. We're trading above it now. And thank you guys for hitting the like button. Greatly appreciate it. Again, there is a lot of liquidity to be had here. A lot. 549 call. Interested to see what happens here, VWAP. as of now, the bulls have used the bears that are still holding on as liquidity to get back into the controlled selling algo. You see it right here. Those that held on too long are now being squeezed, and they're covering. Bears covering is buying, and buying causes the market to go higher. And now that's what's happening. As more and more bears are covering. I just want to wait right now and just see what happens. We're so close to another 30-minute candle as well. No matter what, at this present moment, I don't want to trade against the 30-minute candle. I just don't want to do that. We're green on the weekly, red on the daily, red on the 30, but green on the 5. Conflicting time frames. So I will stand aside. Now, let's also make a note, and it's very easy to see, and I'm very interested knowing that it's less than 1 minute left on the clock. Less than 1 minute left, okay? We have started putting in lower highs and lower lows. This could potentially be another lower high. There could be another potential move down. With the break of the 548.4. Potentially. And this liquidity that has just been created could very well be used to take the market price down lower. We'll get ready to find out. Like for sure, what a more recommended trading platform. Robinhood makes it easy, but when I want a day for funds to settle after trades, limits my day trades. We would also better chart it. All right. What I use is the Thinkorswim platform that is available now with Charles Schwab. It used to be with TD Ameritrade, but Charles Schwab bought out TD Ameritrade. So all the accounts that were with TD Ameritrade got transferred over to Charles Schwab. One thing that Charles Schwab did do, however, is that they decided to keep the trading platform that TD Ameritrade had created called Thinkorswim. They decided to keep that in place just like it is. And that is exactly what you're seeing now is the Thinkorswim platform that I'm using to actually trade off of. Very easy to get an account with them. They don't have a minimum that you can put in. Would suggest starting off with a cash account anyway, because regardless of how much money you have in your account when you first start off, you're not going to be trading large anyway. You're going to be mastering the art. The size will come. The goal is to stay afloat as long as you can, long enough for someone to come show you, save you, or you show yourself how to swim. So very easy to open an account with them. And right now their customer service is off the chain because they're really trying to satisfy all of the transfer accounts that just came over, and they don't want to lose anybody. So their customer service right now is off of the chain. And that would, in my opinion and recommendation, be the next step up, because it's not costly like, you know, some other platforms may be. I also have like Trade Zero, which costs money. IB, International Brokers, which costs money. You know, also have Secure Trader, which costs money. But Thinkorswim is also very easy to use. There's also a lot of tutorials on how to use this site as well and navigate and place trades. So that is also on there as well. As we get closer to taking back control of the day by the bulls, potentially, we're at VWAP, waiting to see what is going to happen at VWAP. No need to be early. Just be patient. Waiting to see what happens at VWAP. If we're able to successfully break out of this controlled selling algo and potentially take a call as the bulls try to completely liquidate this morning bears that are still trying to hold on. Or will they rely on that 830 bears to come in for backup and support? Interesting. All I can say is thank you for being here. Thank you for your comments, your suggestions. Thank you for your like. And thank you for your patience. Two areas of interest for me are going to be the 549.6 area, which will place us right outside of this controlled selling. I'm like a call above that area. And if the market should so happen to come on back down, well, I tell you what, a lot of liquidity has been made right now with these bulls. So getting them in a position where they will have to cover, I tell you, take the market down just a little bit further. Full transparency. As you guys know, I love to be transparent. I did get in a call, but I did get in a put, but I don't advise you to do it unless you understand why. Unless you are prepared to keep your risk tight. Unless you have a reason for doing it. I took this put because of the potential of squeezing these early bulls. The risk to reward is very nice, very tight. I'm only risking the candle itself. If the candle should flip, I'm out. If the candle should flip, I am out. that was based upon my level of risk tolerance. Everyone's might be different, but based upon my level of risk tolerance. I'm very much prepared to cover this trade. And I will, just because the candle simply changed colors. Trying to hold on. But that was my indicator. Looking at the time left on the clock, that allowed me to hold on a little longer as well. 1.5 minutes left on this candle. I reduced my size on this one, of course, as this is not an A+ setup. This is a rejection of VWAP. And at VWAP, we put in a shooting star. I got in early because the move down could have been very quick and violently. Confirmation of this move would be with the break of the 548.4. That would be confirmation and continuation of this potential move. Less than 15 seconds left on this candle. Ready to stop out if I need to. Give me 1 second, Aaron, and I'll read the comment in 1 second. I got my eye on the trigger. Keeping it real tight on this one. Keeping my hand on the trigger on this one. Okay, I got a little bit of room now, Aaron. I can read your comment now. Any reason why VWAP is lower on Robinhood? No, I don't understand. I don't, bro. Why VWAP is lower on Robinhood. It's 548.8 for you. Mine is at 549.3. Wow. But that's still good to know. You know, I don't know, maybe it's the platforms itself. Okay? Maybe it's the platforms itself. Yep. Again, seeing that we were putting in a lower high. Again, I want to go back to when I pointed out to you on the handy dandy, and I showed you we were putting in lower highs and lower lows. I said when this 5 minute completes, we could potentially be on the verge of putting in another lower high. Okay, Then I said, if we put in that lower high and come on back down, that these early bulls right here could be used as liquidity to break through the 548.4 and take us down even further. So I set an alarm at the 548.4, knowing that this would definitely be the last point where all of these early bulls would give up all hope. And this is the safe place and the safe area to take the trade. This is that area. Okay. Me, however, recognizing that we put in a lower low, recognizing that we did put in a shooting star, allowed me to say, hey, let me go ahead and put my toes in the water right now. I'm not going to trade with as much size, but I got enough that I'm in the trade that I do have some room to add to the position if the trade does work out. No one knows what the trade is going to do. All we know is what the chart is showing us, and it showed us it was putting in this lower high, showed us there was a lot of liquidity made off of this support area, and if the bulls are not able to break out of this controlled selling, that they're going to be used as liquidity and eventually have to cover. Potentially they could come back right now, realize what's going on, and buy more and save this position. I don't know, but I know I wanted to be involved, and so I am. Now, let's also look at how we're lining up on multiple time frames. Okay. We're red on the daily. Well, let's start with the weekly. We're green on the weekly. So the bulls are overall in charge. However, we're red on the daily. This could be exhaustion. This could be profit taking. This could be a trick, a trap set by the bulls to trick the bears, to squeeze them up to new highs. Who knows? We look to the 30-minute chart. We almost had our second consecutive red 30-minute chart. That was what I was looking for, and that to me would be my indicator of whether or not I hold on to this trade or not. Looking to get that finally consecutive red candle on the 30-minute chart, knowing that there is a lot of liquidity here. Let's pull it up. A lot of liquidity here that these bulls have provided. Still getting them in a position to cover, okay, would definitely move us down. Looking at a bigger scale on a larger time frame. The larger time frame is putting pressure, okay, on these 10 o'clock bulls, and bulls indicated by these bottom tails. Don't let this red candle fool you. These are bulls hiding in bear skin. And if we can continue to pressure them, enough of them will start covering, and bull covering is selling. Let's see if we can identify the area where they're going to say, I've had enough. The 548.7. Looks like we're almost there. Let's go ahead and put an alarm there. Let's put an alarm there. The 548.7. Just a little bit closer. I believe if we get there, we can start to see these bulls start selling. Bull covering is selling, and selling makes the market price go down further. This is the 30-minute chart we're looking at right now, guys. It's bigger than the 5-minute chart now. There we go. Look at that drop. Look at that drop. Look at that drop. They just bounced from it. Oh, they bounced from it. We're going to put it back. They know what's at stake. They know what's at stake. They know what's at stake. You just put it back. You put the alarm back down for them. And according to Aaron, on that 548.8, we're now under your VWAP 2 now, Aaron. Okay, they're going to defend this area now. It's not going to be easy. It's going to require some patience. But they have a position they have to defend. And you can clearly see it playing out here on this chart. If you hadn't hit the like button, I hope this here is a reason for you to hit it. Because we have nailed the area of interest. We don't know what's going to happen now. We're not saying that. Because no one knows what's going to happen. But we can see the area that it's going to happen in. That's a fact. And we do see fighting very strongly at this area. Holding on very strongly to their position. But the Bears are not playing. Man, this would be a great day for level 2. Because this 548.6 area is so important. They giving this up is so important. It's so important. That 548.6. And I kind of want to peek at level 2. Y'all know how I do. Level 2 fanatic. Interesting. 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 I'll show you what that looks like here on the line chart, the handy dandy line chart that I drew out for you guys. The pressure points, the pressure position, the ideal trade is down here. I got in early because of what I saw in recognizing us putting in a lower low. I also showed you the two areas here with this yellow line and this purple line that would be pressure, not knowing that they automatically fail at the bottom of the controlled selling algo. So of course we're going to have bouncing here, of course, and that's exactly what's happening. The only question is, are we going to bounce to a new high, or are we going to bounce to an even lower high? Now we do have a higher low, so we do have to keep that in consideration as well. So we do want to monitor this trade and not let it get away from us. So the trade definitely needs to be monitored. But you can see how things are lining up on multiple time frames. We were on the 30-minute chart, identifying where on the 30-minute chart that the bulls could lose it. And it was in fact in this same area where they came back and found strength. And it also lines up perfectly with the bottom of this controlled selling algo. What a beautiful day to be a trader. What a beautiful day to understand what is going on. Grateful for that. Also looking at the longer time frame. Finally, could we potentially get that consecutive bearish 30-minute candle? So much is at stake. It's been a long time since we've seen a consecutive bearish red candle on the 30-minute chart. It's been a long time. The risk is absolutely worth the reward. This is the importance of the longer time frames, so that way I don't get spooked out of the action that's happening on the 1 minute and the 2 minute and even the 5 minute right now. I understand the bigger picture. Earlier, we came and closed the gap at that 10 o'clock 30-minute candle, and we bounced from there. These are all bulls, buddy. And these bulls run into these bulls. Great potential for greatness here, guys. Shout out to everybody joining us today. Shout out to everybody who took a ride with us to the bank. So grateful for you. Grateful for the regular team members. Grateful for the new team members. Grateful for the people who watch the replay. We've got a midday break coming up. So we wrap things up at 11 o'clock. And then we take a look at what's going on in the afternoon. And if it is something appeasing, something tasty, then we will come back on and get on the air, notify you and let you know. So slightly above my VWAP on Robinhood. Yep. I see that too, buddy. I am prepared to get out of this trade as well. I'm just holding on a little bit longer because I'm using a little bit wider of an eyesight on my lens, looking through the lens of the 30-minute candle, allowing this 30-minute candle to be my decision maker. Do the bears have the ability? If they do not have the ability to crush these bulls, let's watch out, because the bulls could then come out on the attack, come out in color, in form, like they're doing now. And I am out of that. Looking now on the other side. 549 call. Oh yeah. Bulls have yet again successfully defended their area. Looking to see where this closes. Look at that on all charts now. Okay, I'm into the call here. We've reached the 11 o'clock hour. And I can't thank you guys enough for joining me and being a part of this journey. For those of you who have to go right now, we do salute you and thank you for being here. As we do this every day at 9:25 to 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Please also look forward to some more follow-up videos as well. End of the day recaps, trade explanations, as well as anything else you guys might want to see that could help us all. I thank you guys for being a part of this journey. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to hold on to this call just for a little bit. Just guys, let you know what my trade plans are. If we break the 549, I will get out. But other than that, I am going to hold it to see if we potentially break out of this controlled selling. For everyone else, if you want a clearer picture and a safer trade, wait until we break out above the 549.6 area. We will clearly then be outside of this controlled selling algo, and on the daily we would have flipped from red on the day to green on the day. So if you want to wait until then to take your trade, please feel free. If you don't think that's a trade you want to take at all, that's even better. Trading at your own level of understanding is the best way to trade. I do appreciate you guys, and as I explained, where my stop area would be the 549, my profit taking area will be a retest of the 550.3 area. Thank you guys for coming out. I look forward to doing an end of the day recap video with you guys. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming out. Bye for now.